Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another edition of a Brew for Two podcast. I'm your host, Brad, and along with my co-host, Derek.
Yeah.
We are here on episode number 42. We have lots to talk about this episode, but first, let us tell you what we've been up to, because it has been a while since we've done episode 41, the last podcast we did. It's been at least, we skipped a week.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that you were gone for a week, that we didn't do podcast last week.
Well, I wasn't gone for a week. I was gone for a weekend.
But I mean, I just still completely forgot that we actually didn't do one last week.
Yeah, because I was away. I was up north at my camp. Visiting my family, my whole family. So I was with my sister and brother-in-law and their dog and my dad and my mom. We were all there. Yeah. And then I drove my new car up there that I got like a couple weeks ago now.
Yep.
I drove my new car up there and made it all the way up and back. No issues. So that was kind of exciting.
And now you can go there anytime you want.
Yeah, exactly.
So like for your parents.
Yeah, so that's why we have episode 42 has been late. Usually we do this show on Saturdays. We used to do it Fridays, but then we changed it to Saturdays because Fridays were more of a like we were all tired because we just like it was for some of us it was a work day. So like
well, for me and you it was always a work day.
Yeah.
So it was like get off work. It's like I'd just rather have a few beers and just relax. Then we'll just do it tomorrow. We'll do it on Saturday.
Exactly. So we started doing this trend where we do the podcast Saturday, upload Sunday, and then we upload it Sunday, and then it gets put on to Spotify, where you can listen to it if you want. That day.
Yeah.
Usually in the PM. But we have lots of things to talk about this podcast. Like I was saying earlier, there was some a lot of not so much newsworthy stuff, but just a lot of things to talk about. You might have been noticing with not a lot of movies and television newsworthy stuff. It has been happening.
No, not a lot of stuff has.
Because
the only announced this week, I think Mulan got announced this week to go on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
For the $30 charge like I was telling you about, which I mean, it's fine, I guess. They gotta make some sort of money off of it, but
But I wasn't gonna watch it anyway.
Yeah, exactly, right. So it's like,
what was I saying?
I don't know. It's one of those days today already.
Yeah, I know. Well, like me and you, we took a road trip up to Valence to help your dad with a bunch of camping stuff.
Yeah.
And we kind of chilled there for a bit, and then we kind of left, and then came back here and chilled here for a bit. And
I got food. It was great food. Now I'm like nappy.
Yeah, I'm so nappy right now.
Could definitely just like I could probably just go to bed now.
But
that's 7:36 at night.
But like this week for me, so before I left for Sault Ste. Marie, I started watching The Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
Season 2, because that came out on Netflix last Friday.
Yeah.
And so and then I didn't have enough time to watch the whole series in one day. So I stopped watching around 1, and then I left to go pick up my dad at 2. So when I got back though, right away I started watching Umbrella Academy season 2 again. Like I finished the series season 2 in about a couple days. And what a wonderful season it is.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting a lot of things that happened in it.
Like they go back in the decade of the 60s.
Yeah, if you remember from season 1, basically number 5 wants to try to jump them.
Number 5 sends them through time.
But he didn't mean to send them to the point in time where they went to, which is the 1960s.
Yeah.
And
he there's seven siblings.
Yeah.
6 are alive, 1's dead.
Yeah.
But 7 siblings, they all get transported transported to each, like, well, one of them gets like one of them gets in like one of them goes to 1961, another goes to 1962, and then the like another goes to 1963,
Yeah,
and it's
and so
based
on
in
and so forth. Yeah.
1963,
Yeah.
and it was a wonderful, home run of a season.
I'd say so. I'm definitely excited for
Yeah,
season 3 whenever that ends up happening.
yeah.
God knows when the hell that'll happen now, but I mean, they'll
Well,
release season
it's
2.
probably going to be a while,
Yeah.
before season 3 happens because of the state we're in of COVID.
Yeah.
Because
So,
what was announced this week that we're not getting a Flash or a Supergirl till 2021. So
I mean, I kind of like died off with Supergirl after like the first season.
yeah,
Flash, I didn't really watch either though. I mean,
but like most of the CW shows are not, they're not going to be filming
no.
in, like they would have already been filming their season, so
Yeah.
that's not happening anymore. So their new timeline is gonna be 2021. So we're gonna go basically a year and a half without Flash, a year and a half without Flash, maybe.
Which I mean, for me, it's fine because DC is kind of DC.
And it's fine for me too, because I kind of look at it as the silver lining of it all, where it gives, pardon me, it gives more ways for people to be creative.
Yeah. Yeah.
It gives room for people to be creative because they're not on a deadline anymore.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, we're coming out with the season in 2021, so they have room to do things.
Yeah. Yeah, if they want to change the script or change something that happened, or they have time to go through everything and make sure it's all going to be up to snuff.
Yeah.
Again, though, I don't know where any of those shows are because I haven't kept up with either one of them. More or less because they're only on the CW. I mean, yeah, they're like Flash and Supergirl are on Netflix now, but they're not. I don't think they're up to date.
No, they're up to date. Supergirl's not. The Flash is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like same thing with Survivor. Come September, no new season of Survivor.
Yeah.
Until we figure this out.
Well, unless they do the same thing that you had said Big Brother did yesterday. We'll just test everybody before they go on to the show, and then
yeah. But the thing was also Big Brother also did an all-star season.
Yeah.
Where Survivor just did an all-star season, so Survivor can't do another back-to-back all-star season because of like, because that's how they'll lose viewers. Like, oh, we just saw our like favorite players on the past season. We can't like let's focus on some new players.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like we're not getting a new Survivor season until probably like maybe their winter premiere, which is February, their spring premiere, which is in February, which starts in February.
Yeah.
So we're probably not getting Survivor till then. Big Brother season 22 premiered on this past Thursday, and it's all Big Brother season 22 is All Stars 2. The last time Big Brother fans has seen an All Stars was back in the year 2007, I believe, or 2006, 2007.
Yeah, so it's been a while.
So it's been a while. And you got to see your favorite house guests come back and play the game one more time.
Yeah.
And their first All-Star season was great. And I can't wait to see what this All-Star season does. The unfortunate thing is, yes, because of this COVID, a lot of the players that they've got are not necessarily all-star players.
Yeah.
Like you could look at like past cast members of the show and be like, oh, those people are definitely all-star players. And a lot of them, like, they just didn't want to leave their houses because they're like, one of the former house guests posted on Twitter that it's like, I don't want to leave my job in the middle of a recession.
Yeah.
To do this show.
Yeah, in the middle of something that if he doesn't win, I mean, he has to go back to his regular job,
Exactly.
which might not be there because of COVID.
Exactly.
Right.
Like, and that's the thing too, where A lot of these Big Brother contestants that go on the show don't really. Some of them don't actually have jobs.
Yeah.
Like, or they have to quit their job before they go on the show.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. You can't just take a leave of absence or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Like,
yeah, I'm going on a game show for a few months. I just like have my job back when I'm done in case I don't win. But if I do win, then I'm not going to come back.
I have to take 3 months off to do the show.
Yeah,
because it's literally 3 months. Like, the good thing about Big Brother is like there's live feeds.
Yeah.
So you can log on to CBS All Access and watch the live feeds. For a fee though. Big Brother Canada does live feeds too, but you can watch them for free. And so because of the live feeds, Twitter is blowing up with Big Brother All Stars season 22 stuff, and it's great.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait for tomorrow's episode because it's gonna be fantastic. What also I watched I watched Umbrella Academy season 2 this week.
Yeah.
I also watched The Muppets Now, which is a modern updated version of The Muppets where they're not necessarily on stage anymore doing skits. It's no longer 70s Saturday Night Live for kids.
Yeah, I mean, we watched some stuff yesterday, and they've definitely tried to modernize the Muppets and bring it into like a younger audience, like younger generation now, which is, everybody on their phones and tablets or whatever. So it's basically set up like each little skit is a video that gets uploaded to the Muppets website. Yeah, is basically what it is. I mean, it got us, chuckling, every once in a while.
It is entertaining,
and there are definitely some adult themed jokes in that show.
But some of the voice acting for this series of the Muppets, it's Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, he's
too low. Like, Kermit the Frog is a lot higher. Like, it's
he's not supposed to be a lot higher pitched than he is, and same with Miss Piggy, as we noticed yesterday.
Like, you noticed Miss Piggy. I didn't really notice Miss Piggy too much, but it's just the
cadence where the cadence, the way the person's talking, and just like there's a bit too high pitched for Miss Piggy. So I mean, I don't care personally. I don't.
And then like Fozzie Bear's voice sounds off too.
Yeah.
Waka waka, like it's
like waka waka, and it's like, what the fuck? That's not Fozzie Bear. What the hell are you doing here?
But like the rest of the cast, they're fine. It's just Fozzie Bear, Miss Piggy, and Kermit. They don't sound like themselves, which I understand that Frank Oz, the guy who did Yoda, Frank Oz doesn't do Miss Piggy anymore.
No,
he hasn't done Miss Piggy for 20 years, and like Jim Henson, the original voice of Kermit the Frog, hasn't done Kermit the Frog in 30 years because he passed away in 1990.
Yeah.
But
which, I mean, those dates might sound like, oh, you guys don't know what you're talking about. Well, we grew up with this. We grew up with those episodes with Jim Henson on them.
Yes.
So like we know, like that's the voice we know of Kermit the Frog.
I wonder if Jim Henson would ever get a biopic similar to like Tom Hanks as Mr. Rogers.
I mean, I think there'd be an opportunity to do that. I think that would be something that should be done. I mean,
I feel that way too, and like get like somebody like you would have.
I mean, because Mr. Rogers Mr. Rogers was very impactful to Americans, obviously. To us, it was Mr. Dress Up.
Yeah, but same. I kind of the same with.
Oh, this is
Jim Henson.
It was the exact same with Kermit the Frog.
Because a lot of people grew up with Sesame Street, and then the Muppets were a spinoff of Sesame Street. Yep. So,
well, that's what I mean. That definitely impacted a lot of people. Like, I don't remember. I mean, the old episodes, they didn't really.
Yeah.
I don't think they really commented on like social issues and stuff like that. Unless they did, I could be completely wrong. I just don't remember the episodes being particularly educational. I guess they were in a certain aspect, but they weren't. They covered stuff like math and like. Words and stuff like that, but like not like Mr. Rogers where you'd be covering like actual touchy issues like death and racism and stuff like that. I could be wrong on that though. I could be completely wrong. I mean, we watched those episodes, 25 years ago. when we were just children, right? So
Yeah. I actually, somebody put this on Reddit about 5 years ago,
yeah,
saying, "How would you cast a Jim Henson biopic?"
yeah. I don't even know.
And he said, honestly, the only person I can really see Jim doing Jim justice is the actor named Lee Pace, who I don't really know his work. Um,
Never
he
heard of
looks
him.
familiar. Oh, he was Ronan the Accuser in Captain Marvel.
Yeah, but
And
you didn't really see his face though.
no,
What the hell was his name again?
Lee Pace. I don't.
Let's see here. Lee Pace. He was in Marvel. He was in Hobbit, Twilight. I mean, he's been in a bunch of stuff.
Or somebody said Jason Segel as Jim Henson. I can't really see that.
No.
Bill Hader. Bill Hader is Jim.
Oh, Lee Pace. Yeah, you know who he is. He's that guy. Hobbit.
Oh.
Yeah, he's the elf dude.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Thranduil.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, Thranduil.
Somebody said
Thranduil.
Ryan Gosling as Jim Henson. I wouldn't see that.
You know, if honestly, if Tom Hanks hadn't done Mr. Rogers, I could see him doing that.
Or another person said Sacha Baron Cohen as Jim.
I can't
see it because of his body.
It's not even just that. Well, it's his body of work personally.
But he was Borat and Bruno and Ali G. But also he was in line to play Freddie Mercury in the Queen biopic.
Yeah.
But somebody put here Sacha Baron Cohen as Jim. He's the same height. He's a great actor and has a whole wide variety of voices.
I mean, if we can't have Tom Hanks, then yeah, sure.
Or we could have Jake Gyllenhaal, because he kind of has that Jim Henson shaped beard to him, and I couldn't see him doing like the voices of the Muppets. You know, I couldn't see him.
Yeah, that's like the only thing. Yeah,
but like the Muppets now, though, it's very entertaining.
I
mean. It's a children's show, so they're constantly teaching on that show. Like I learned something new, and that is that Danny Trejo has a cookbook.
Yeah, you found that out yesterday. Yeah,
Machete, Uncle Machete. If anybody gets that reference,
Machete. Yeah,
you get Uncle Machete.
Yeah,
you get that reference, Spy Kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not just Machete from his.
No, I know. Yeah, Spy Kids.
But yeah, he has a cookbook, and he looks like he makes awesome tacos.
Yeah,
or whatever they were called. Carditas.
I think so.
Corsitas?
Yeah, he went up against a Swedish chef, and I mean that was funny.
The first one I watched though was funnier because he was cooking with this famous chef who's known for making. She has a famous curry recipe.
Okay.
And he was trying to make the curry, and he couldn't make it, so he just calls somebody to deliver him the curry, and he's like, "Ta-da!"
Oh fuck.
Or he got Gonzo's wife, Camilla, the chicken,
yeah,
to come on, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like massaging her, and he's like, "Are you marinating your chicken?" And she kind of just looks at him, and he's like, "What? Okay," and then just whacks him in the face and storms off. It's like, "What are you doing?" But yeah, and that's funny, and you're like. All your favorite Muppets are back. Gonzo, Fozzie, my personal favorite, Bunsen Honeydew and Beaker. Me. Like they're so funny. I remember when I was back in high school when I was watching wrestling, and it was wrestling featuring the Muppets. So the Muppets. So back in like 2008, 2009, WWE was doing this guest host. So the guest hosts would come on to Raw, and they would do guest host things. Like they would have Hugh Jackman, Donald Trump, because Donald Trump and Vince McMahon are BFFs. And the one episode they had the Muppets, and it was so funny because there was an exchange with like everybody was making fun of Beaker, and everybody was making fun of Beaker now the way he talked, like with the me, and he kind of has a a similar hairstyle to a professional wrestler back then. This wrestler has changed his hairstyle, but the wrestler back then, his name was Sheamus. So they kind of had that spiked up hairdo, and Sheamus and Beaker played it off as like they were related, and it was so funny. It was like, oh hey, say hi to the mom for me, like. Like, oh, how are your cousins and blah blah blah, and then Sheamus like kind of fixes his hair, like it's like, yeah. But and also another thing I watched was the last thing I watched basically this week. There has not been a lot of stuff on because of COVID and because of us being trapped inside. We're watching a lot of stuff on Netflix and Disney it goes, and Amazon.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot to watch. So like basically, if I can't find anything to watch, I just put on an episode of Family Guy.
Yeah.
But I did watch this docu-series the other day because my sister mentioned it when we were on vacation. And it was the Jeffrey Epstein documentary series on Netflix, and it is super heavy.
It's fucked up
to watch.
Yeah.
They have a disclaimer saying like if you're like the things that are going to be talked about in this docuseries are very heavy, and like stop, like if you can't handle it, stop watching now kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like Jeffrey Epstein was this kingpin of a pedophile ring.
I'd say so, yeah.
And freaking there's pictures with Donald Trump and Bill Gates.
Yeah. Pictures with presidents, pictures with CEOs, pictures with prime ministers.
Yeah.
Pictures with very, very powerful and influential people.
Exactly. Like, and you probably know that like Donald Trump is, in the words of Glenn Quagmire, gagoogaded that girl.
Yeah.
And like Bill Clinton, he's awesome. He's very awesome guy, but like he seems very awesome.
Yeah.
But like has a history of having affairs with his wife, having affairs on his wife. So
yeah.
And like just freaking just taking advantage of these girls, and all these girls got their justice when the Me Too movement happened in 2016. And it was just it was a hard watch, and then at the last episode of it kind of followed his death too.
Yeah.
Like, did he kill himself? Did he not? It's up in the air. Some people think, oh yeah, he definitely killed himself. Other people's like, oh no, somebody killed him. And after watching that docuseries, I'm just like, yeah, somebody probably did kill him. It was
probably yeah. Like, I mean, you touched hands with those many people, and you were going to go to court about it. They don't want you to talk, right?
Exactly. And plus, like, prisoners don't like pedophiles in their prison.
Oh, guards and everything, yeah. Prisoners.
Nobody likes.
Yeah.
So it's like, did somebody kill him? Was it a mob hit?
Who knows?
Like, was there a hit put out? But
we'll never know, unfortunately.
We'll never know. It's something. It's one of the unsolved mysteries.
Yeah, it'll be on an unsolved murder case thing, like or unsolved mysteries series in like 15 years or 10 years or something like that.
Probably. Actually, the unsolved mysteries thing, I kind of stopped watching. It
wasn't good.
It wasn't my cup of tea.
No. I haven't been watching really anything this week. I've still been trying to get through Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, okay.
Slowly, very, very slowly getting through.
What episode are you on now?
I'm in halfway through season 4, I think.
Halfway through season 4. Nice.
Yeah, I still like 2 more seasons to go.
Apparently, a Seth Rogen series came out on Crave. It's called The American Pickle.
Oh God, what?
It's called The American Pickle.
Okay.
Oh, An American Pickle. Okay. And he plays this pickle farmer in like the early 1900s. He plays this pickle farmer who gets no joke. He accidentally gets pushed in this barrel of brine,
Yeah.
and it kind of like
Pickles him?
it pickles him basically.
Okay.
So it's basically like, okay, I'll put it this way: Captain America goes down with his ship or airplane, goes down and
Freezes, wakes up 70
but
years
he's still
later.
alive under the ice.
Yeah.
Same thing with the American pickle.
Oh my god.
He accidentally falls in this barrel of brine and gets pickled, and it's able to keep him alive, and then he wakes up in the year 2020.
Oh, good lord.
And he goes to visit his grandson,
Yeah.
who is also played by Seth Rogen. So Seth Rogen is playing two characters.
Is he trying to become Mike Myers? Like
No. No. I mean, Mike Myers had like very much well done, like you knew it was Mike Myers, but it was also very well done makeup artists and stuff. Like,
oh yeah, no, 100%. But I mean, it was just, kind of Mike Myers' thing to play himself.
Yeah, I guess.
To play multiple people on one screen.
I guess, but like, also like his grandson is like, or great grandson, I don't know. His one or the other is like kind of like
it'd be like the great grandson or something like that, 1900s. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah. But like his relative is kind of like, he's kind of like a bum almost. But then they decide to like, let's reinvent the pickle recipe and let's get the pickle business going again. And it's kind of it's kind of like a heartfelt story from what I've seen on the trailer.
Is this a movie or a TV show?
It's a movie.
You watch it yet?
No.
I'll watch it later.
Yeah, we'll watch
Sounds
it
interesting.
Later.
I'm just picturing Seth Rogen pickled, and I mean, it don't look good in my head. Like
Seth Rogen is actually really, he's hilarious as an actor.
Oh, he's great.
The one, it was, he said the most fun he's ever had in filming something was Pineapple Express.
Yeah.
And the funniest joke he's ever put on screen, there was a scene in Pineapple Express where like they're getting chased after, him and James Franco are getting chased after, and like they're getting shot at and everything, and somebody shoots their window and it breaks, and like they can't see because of the broken window. So James Franco decides, because they watch a lot of movies, what happens when your window breaks? When your window it doesn't break, but it shatters. And what do? Well, a lot in 80s action movies have told us what to do when that happens to your window. You take your foot and you kick it, right? In Pineapple Express, in that scene, James Franco's foot gets gets stuck in the window, and he's driving his car with his foot stuck in the window. That's one of Seth Rogen's favorite jokes he's ever put in a movie, where it's just like. And also, I found out how, watching an interview of his, I found out how, oh my God, Kelly Clarkson started.
Yeah.
Because he was making, like, when he was writing 40-Year-Old Virgin, he was making, okay, so I have to have a clean list and I have to have a dirty list. I have to have an uncensored list and a censored list. And he's like, oh, the uncensored list was easy. Fuck, shit, piss, bitch, but bastard, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Pardon my French. But then he's like, he was having a hard time coming up with the clean stuff. So he's just like, oh my God, Kelly Clarkson. And that's still repeated today. I know when I went for a swim in Lake Superior, Goulet Bay, I said that because it's cold. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, Kelly Clarkson. But yeah, that show, American Pickle, is now streaming on Crave TV. If you have Crave TV, if not,
it's probably it's on Hulu for you Americans.
Well, actually, it's on HBO Max for you Americans.
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
Also on Hulu. Yeah. Also, in a couple weeks, we're actually getting The Boys season 2 in a couple weeks too. That's coming soon.
Yeah, I'll have to like watch it over here or something because I don't really want to get Amazon Prime again.
Yeah.
There's nothing on there I want to watch.
Well, they had a couple good stuff like for a bit.
Well, they did, yeah. Then they haven't added anything in like forever now.
Yeah, they haven't really added.
Still waiting for like Good Omens season 2, like The Boys.
I thought it was past season 2. Good Omens.
It might be on TV, but I thought it was an Amazon Prime original.
Oh.
Yeah, there was only one season on, unless they came with a new season in the last like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Then
Like
yeah.
I also finished kind of watching Parks and Rec too, so that's why I've also haven't really anything to.
Yeah.
I got my also my parents and my brother and sister have brother-in-law and sister. They have introduced me to some new artists.
Yeah.
One of them being Orville Peck, who is he's a gay country singer who wears a mask. Gay Canadian country singer who wears a mask.
That's literally his description. So
yeah, nobody knows who he is.
Yeah,
but he comes up on stage and he sings, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, no, we listened to one of the songs that day. It was good.
One song of his that I really enjoy is "Dead of Night."
Yeah.
Another song you should check out is "The Devil Wears a Suit and Tie" by Coulter Well, who is a 25 folk singer, 25-year-old folk singer from Canada as well.
Yeah.
I don't know whereabouts in Canada. He wears a cowboy hat and he has a wicked mustache. You know he uses mustache rack on that mustache to get it pointed out, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But other than that, like, yeah, that's pretty much it for me. And I know that's pretty much it for you.
Yeah, I haven't done much. It's just been work and trying to catch up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. before any Marvel stuff comes out.
Yeah, so with that being said, it's now part of the podcast that we like to jump into the news.
Yeah.
First up, I saw earlier that Netflix wants to find its Star Wars. So Netflix wants to find its Star Wars. That being said, like, not actually Star Wars. So the big story of the next decade of entertainment will undoubtedly be how streaming services take the center stage when it comes to creating content for a global audience. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Tendo
Agenda? Yeah.
Nagenda?
Agenda, maybe?
VP of original film at Netflix, revealed the streaming giant has ambitions to bring the next generation of giant film franchises of the world. So we're looking at the big broad, and this is a quote from him: "We are looking at the big broad audience, PG level adventure films as something that we want to get into. Something along the lines of the first Star Wars or Harry Potter 1 and 2.
Yeah.
A lot of family live action fantasy spectacle movies that we think are big and can play great. A Jumanji type story that is the next frontier. We want to encourage great talent to think that way. George Lucas created Star Wars. It wasn't based on a book. If you have that kind of imagination like the Wachowskis with The Matrix, we feel like we're the place to take the chance on those type of innovative ideas in filmmakers."
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what their next big thing could be, because it would have to be somewhat popular. I assume that's why you grabbed the books. Yeah.
I did grab the books. So Derek is right now. I have 3 books beside me.
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 books: the Dead series, the Department 19 series, and the I Am Number 4 series.
Yeah.
All these books, one of these books, Netflix could take and make into a movie trilogy.
Yeah.
The Dead series, if you want, it's. I never read the whole thing because I got bored of it and I wasn't doing much reading. But it has a very teen-esque genre to it. Like, it's very like before the MCU kind of took off. Like, we were watching like Harry Potter and
before the MCU even took off, we were what, 8 years into Harry Potter? Not the movies, with the books.
The books were finished. The last book for Harry Potter came out in 2006.
We were. Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, we were already, before MCU came out. Like, we were already, because Philosopher's Stone didn't come to Canada until 2000.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, so we were already, like, before MCU even started, we were already 8 years of just reading Harry Potter, and then the movie started coming out.
Yeah, the movie So, but The Dead, it's a zombie apocalypse story with teenagers.
Okay.
And it's basically there's a sickness, and once you turn 18, you get infected with that sickness.
That's unfortunate.
So
Or fortunate. I don't know.
So it's a zombie apocalypse kind of story.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I have 3 of the books. There's more than 3.
Yeah.
There's The Dead, and then there's I forget the other titles. I have them. And also another book, Department 19.
Yeah.
It's an organization. Department 19 is an organization found years ago by Van Helsing and his best friend, who is the great grandfather of this character named Jamie Carpenter, whose father, Julian Carpenter, gets framed for being a terrorist.
They did that already.
No.
Yeah.
No.
There was a I don't know if it was a movie or TV show. They literally did this.
No.
Because Buddy gets thrown into a chest and thrown to the bottom of a lake.
Nope.
Then they bring him out of it. Yeah, that was Department 19.
No, they didn't.
With Van Helsing? Yes, it was.
They did that. They did a show similar, but it was called Dracula on Netflix.
Yeah, it's close enough.
But
Department 19 was in there though, so that's why I don't think.
No, it wasn't. It was called something different.
Pretty much
it was pretty much the same thing, but it was called something different.
It was literally found.
I watched this too.
Yeah, it was literally founded by Van Helsing. That's why I mean it probably was Department 19.
No, this story is an incredible story. So Jamie Carpenter is the main character. Julian Carpenter is his father.
Yeah.
Jamie Carpenter's what's the godfather?
Okay.
Is Frankenstein's monster.
Okay.
Because Frankenstein's monster is his dad's best friend. And then he's also Jamie's best friends with this nerdy guy named Matt. He meets a vampire girl named Larissa.
Okay.
Who he falls in love with, even though she's like so many years old, she actually looks 16, because vampires, when they
stop aging as soon as they're bitten or whatever.
When they get turned.
Yeah.
And like you find out that Larissa, like in the book, you find out that Larissa, spoiler alert, if you want to read it's been out for years. This book.
Yes.
So
yeah.
But you find out that Larissa was turned by the original vampire, not Dracula. But they call him Gray in the story because he's the oldest vampire in the world. Yeah. So his name is Gray, and who actually becomes like a vegetarian.
Oh,
so
weird.
Because he's just like, it's like, I don't do that anymore. I just get blood from cows now.
Yeah.
And like he falls in love with Larissa, and everybody's like, but you hunt vampires. You can't do this. You can't fall in love with Larissa. You hunt vampires.
Not all vampires are bad. Like, I mean, come on.
And that's when you find out that not all vampires are bad.
Yeah.
And then like they fall in love, and then there's a part of the book where he cheats on her because she's away somewhere else. Like she gets sent off to the state America, because this whole story is based in London, the UK. Okay. And then Frankenstein's monster gets bitten by a werewolf in one book, and he becomes like a super werewolf.
Yeah.
So, and it's another great series that can be turned into a series of movies, mm-hmm. which like even like the fans of the Department 19 series, created by the author Will Hill. I don't know if that's his real name. I think it's a pseudonym, but everybody of this book wants it to be a movie or a series on Netflix. And then the last book I have here, I Am Number 4.
As you're dropping all your books.
As I'm dropping all my books. I Am Number 4.
Yeah.
It came out years ago. It came out as a movie. Diane Argan was Diane Argan was in it, and who if you don't know who Diane Argan is, she's the girl that plays Quinn Fabray in Glee. And also starred also one of the strippers from Magic Mike, not Channing Tatum. That wasn't Channing Tatum. I forget his name. But so the character. So basically, this is basically Superman, but with teams.
Yeah.
There are 10 kids that go to Earth because their planet's being destroyed. And because they're on Earth, they have superpowers. Sounds familiar?
Yeah, it's literally Superman.
Yeah. But these kids get partnered up with these non-magic beings from their planet. So there's on their home planet, there are people with magic.
Yeah.
And then there are people without magic.
Muggles, yeah.
So, yeah. So the people without powers and abilities take care of the kids with powers and abilities. So there are 10 of them.
Yeah.
And 4 is their leader. Actually, no, there are not 10 of them. There technically there are 10 of them.
Yeah.
But 1, 2, 3 die. So like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 7. And another series that can turn into, like, he takes the pseudonym of, because he can't go by his real name, he takes the pseudonym of John Smith.
Yeah.
Which is even this was a movie years ago that did poorly.
I remember. I'm pretty sure I've watched it.
Yeah, and actually that movie got me reading the books. Yeah. And I'm just like, why wasn't this movie this good?
That's why City of Bones got me into it. I mean, our Shadowhunters got me into reading the Bones books.
But so yeah. And that Lorraine Legacy's I Am Number 4 series could also be one of those Netflix's big finds. But also, it looks like Netflix doesn't want to do a based on a book series. So they want to use their own imagination.
Yeah, they want to do it. They want an original IP, which I understand, but
like, you have so much good content.
Here's the thing: they already have Harry Potter. Give us the horror series. Give us Harry Potter in the horror series. Like,
they could do that. Yeah, that would be badass.
Like, just do it already.
Just like have make it kind of like a buddy cop
something
horror series.
Yeah, something like
yeah.
Harry Potter's already on there. They already have the WB stuff on there. So like, I don't know. Understand what's stopping them? People would love. People would love that.
Harry Potter's going to all 8 movies are going to be on NBC Peacock soon.
Yeah, which is stupid.
Yeah. To list them off again, I Am Number 4, Lorraine Legacies.
Yeah.
The Dead and Department 19. Great books that should all be turned into great movies. Netflix, if you want ideas, you should highly check out these books.
Yeah.
Next bit of news. It's not really news. It's just like, hey, you know who would play a great Robin? And this leads me into the news story. Aidan Gallagher as Robin. A lot of fans want Aidan Gallagher to play Robin, and it just seems a matter of time before a new version of the Boy Wonder appears in a live-action DC project.
Yep.
And many fans of the Umbrella Academy are calling for Aidan Gallagher to be the next Robin.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest spots appears to be the performance of Gallagher as number 5 in the Umbrella Academy. And many people watching have already come up with the next role for Gallagher, and he would be the perfect actor as Robin.
I think he would, and I think
he's young enough.
If they're gonna do some sort of a series with Robin, I mean, he would turn into a great Red Hood.
He would,
like, just a fantastic Red Hood.
Like, so I can't necessarily see him as Dick Grayson.
No, probably not. But
I can see him as a Jason Todd-like character.
Yeah,
because because watching him on Umbrella Academy, he's just like, he thinks everybody's an idiot.
Yeah.
He thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. He can play,
which a lot of the time he is.
A lot of the times he is on that show. He can play this delinquent kid very well.
I mean, and with DC right now, I mean, everything's up in the air as far as where they're going with the story at this point, because, I mean,
and who knows, the Batman movie is coming soon.
Yeah, the Robert Pattinson
Pattinson as Bruce Wayne / Batman. It's coming soon, and it looks like it's going to be good. Maybe they finally introduce a live action Robin.
I mean, who knows? I mean,
Like the last live action Robin. Sorry for interrupting, but the last live action Robin we had was frickin' Chris O'Donnell as Robin in Batman and Robin.
Well, technically, it was an implied Batman, Robin in Dark Knight.
Okay, Joseph Gordon-Levitt was
the implied Dick Grayson,
but
Batman,
it wasn't like dressed up in the Robin suit.
No,
it was just like
it was him actually taking over as Batman.
Actually,
no, it was more of him actually taking over as Batman because. Because Buddy had, I'm done.
Actually, I lied. The last live action Robin was the Teen Titans series, because that guy plays Dick Grayson. But like,
oh yeah.
But I'm not. But that's more for the small screen. I'm talking about the big screen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. As far as movies go, like we had the actual technical last one we had on screen was Batman and Robin.
Yes.
And
Chris O'Donnell is
that
Robin.
That was
nobody liked that because of bat nipples and Robin nipples.
I love the bat nipples. They're great. Come on.
But yeah, I can like, and I don't see Aidan Gallagher as a Tim Drake type either.
No, he's gonna be Dick Grayson. If anything, he'd be Dick Grayson.
But I also heard rumors that this Batman movie coming out with Robert Pattinson, they kind of want to make Robin female, which Robin has been female.
Yeah.
However, people wanted it to either be Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, or Tim Drake.
It has to be one of the three. Yeah.
It has to be one of the three because those are the three Robins that everybody knows. Or Damian Wayne, who is Bruce Wayne's son because he did the horizontal monster mask with Talia al Ghul. They had a kid and named Damian Wayne. Aidan Gallagher could also play great as Damian Wayne because we've seen him and as this, like, because he already in the series Umbrella Academy, he lives in this mansion.
He basically is Damian Wayne.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
He's a snot-nosed rich kid.
Yeah.
who got trained by Ra's al Ghul.
I don't think we'll see anything as far as Robin goes in the next movie, just because Robert Pattinson is playing definitely a younger Batman.
Yeah, a young Bruce Wayne.
So, like, mid 20 Bruce Wayne or something like that. So, definitely won't be any Damian Wayne, but we could.
Well, probably not Damian Wayne, but maybe Dick Grayson.
We could see a Dick Grayson.
Because if Robert Pattinson's playing a younger Batman, then
we really don't know much about this movie, anyways, as far as that, because we've only really seen some pictures of him in the suit. I think we've seen pictures of the car, the Batmobile.
There's been pictures of Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman.
Yeah, I mean, so as far as that goes, we haven't seen any actual or heard of any actual plot to what the movie is actually going to be about.
I just thought of this. So the Flash movie's coming out.
Yeah.
And they're going to do Flashpoint.
Yeah.
And they're going to have possibly Michael Keaton as old Bruce Wayne. What if somehow they add Aidan Gallagher to the Flashpoint Flash movie?
And what he comes back with him?
No, like,
or he just in Flashpoint.
He's just in Flashpoint.
Okay.
Like, he's just like he's just Dick Grayson or Jason Todd in Flashpoint. They could do that too.
Yeah. I mean, there's lots they could do. I just hope they do it properly. Especially if this is going... Like, I mean, is this one supposed to be canon? This Batman?
Not with the DCEU. It's gonna be its own kind of movie.
They need to kind of just start sticking with people for these movies, these DC movies especially.
Mm-hmm.
They're fucking timelines all over the place now.
Well, I think they're finally having their feet on the ground. Like, well, I mean, Wonder Woman, Shazam, Aquaman.
Yeah, but Justice League was a fucking shit show. Yeah,
but like they finally like have their feet on the ground. Where like, maybe like because they were like, we have a Flash movie coming out called Flashpoint. Maybe instead of having Ben Affleck as Batman, maybe we do an older Batman and kind of make him the Nick Fury of the DCEU.
They need to do something to fix the DC universe because, like, I mean, it's not good right now.
No, it's not.
They're not good.
It's not good.
And we're still waiting for Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman
Still
1984,
waiting for that.
which also stars Chris Pine, who, how could it star Chris Pine? He died in the last one. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll have to find out whenever that movie actually does come out.
Maybe he's Martian Manhunter in disguise.
We can only hope. We can only hope.
But yeah, Aidan Gallagher would be a great pick for Robin.
Yeah.
Other news: Ren and Stimpy.
If you don't know what Ren and Stimpy is,
just go to YouTube and look up Powdered Toast Man.
I don't know.
Or
if you're under the age of 18, do not do that. If you're over the age of 18, do it.
Or
just do it.
Or they can look up the classic line in the Ren and Stimpy show. Yes, sir, I am a real horse. That line too was great.
Or just go to YouTube if you're over the age of 18 and just look up Ren and Stimpy best of all time. And yeah, I don't know if it aired in America. I don't know if it was just a Canadian show.
I believe it was an American show.
It was on Teletoon, so
yeah. But also a lot of American shows were on too.
Anyways,
so a reboot of the Ren and Stimpy show is coming to Comedy Central. The animated series premiered on Nickelodeon in the year 1991. Derek and I weren't born yet, and quickly became a pop culture phenomenon for its dark humor, bizarre characters, and jokes geared towards more adult audiences. Now, the iconic dog and cat duo, not to be mixed up with Cat Dog.
No.
Iconic dog and cat duo make their return. Comedy Central has greenlit a reboot of Ren and Stimpy, described as a reimagined take on the 90s hit series. This, of course, is a part of Comedy Central to push adult animated series on the network.
Yeah, I don't think you get much more adult than Ren and Stimpy were.
No. No. And the reason why it was so dark is because, the creator of the show, I believe, was, a pedophile in real life.
He was fucked up. There was something going on there, yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to this on another podcast where it was, the dark something of your favorite shows. Dark, and, they brought up, South Park literally made fun of Matt Stone's ex-girlfriend in an episode because she kind of cheated on him.
I mean, there's an episode where Cartman literally feeds a dude's parents to him the chili con carne. I mean, that was a fucked up show.
Mm-hmm.
Ren and Stimpy is it's one of those shows where I just kind of have glimpses of it in my head, and I'm like, I was allowed to watch this as a child. I should not have been watching this as a child.
No,
and yet I was. I definitely explain. I mean, a lot of shows like that explain why our humor is completely different.
Yeah, the disturbing secret behind an iconic cartoon, underage sexual abuse.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's fucked.
And Nickelodeon found out about this, fired him, and then that's why after I think season 2 of Ren and Stimpy, the animation kind of changes. But yeah, it was messed up.
Yeah.
Messed up.
If you don't know about that show, I mean, I'm happy for you that you don't know about Ren and Stimpy, because I mean that definitely shaped our humor as adults now.
But they taught us a valuable lesson. Ren and Stimpy did, and that was don't whiz on the electric fence.
Yeah, that's the one thing you want to take away from that show: don't piss on an electric fence.
So Ren and Stimpy making a comeback, Comedy Central sometime.
Yeah.
As part of this nostalgia mine we're currently mining. Live action Pinocchio is going to come out soon. They're eyeing Tom Hanks to play the role as Geppetto, who is Pinocchio's creator, who wants a son and wishes upon a star to have a son. So Tom Hanks is in early negotiation to play Geppetto in Disney's upcoming live-action adaptation of Pinocchio. With a string of successful adaptations as of late, the Mouse House is looking to once again cash in on one of their classic animated tales. My voice cracked a little when I did that. It doesn't usually do that.
No, usually it's a lot more terrifying.
Initially arriving in theaters in 1940, Pinocchio was the second animated feature film of Disney released, coming 3 years after Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which came out in 1937?
Yeah, it was the first.
No,
It
yes.
was early. It was the first one of the first ones, right?
And the person who's gonna do this live action adaptation of Pinocchio, Robert Zemeckis, is on board to direct the latest Disney iteration of Pinocchio. There now seems to be a solid momentum behind the production, and although the film still doesn't have a confirmed cast, Zemeckis appears to be close to landing Tom Hanks for the role as Geppetto. Now, Tom Hanks and Robert Zemeckis have a past. Robert Zemeckis has had Tom Hanks in many of his films. There's only one film that comes to, well, two. So Tom Hanks was Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump was directed by Robert Zemeckis.
Yeah.
Also, Tom Hanks was the guy on the train conductor in Polar Express.
Yeah.
Who directed that? Robert Zemeckis.
Yeah.
So they have a history together. And
I mean, Forrest Gump was one of the movies that I would say probably, did wonders for Tom Hanks' career.
Yes, it did. Life was like a box of chocolates. Who doesn't remember that classic line?
If you've never seen that movie, just slap yourself beside the head and then go watch it.
Okay? Yes, it's an amazing film.
It's absolutely amazing.
And the most amazing part of that film is when they somehow in the magic of movie making, they made every historical event Forrest Gump was a part of.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah,
you saw him shaking hands with JFK and
I think that
on the Ed Sullivan Show with John Lennon.
I think I think they just I think it was blue screen back then. It wasn't green screen. They blue screened him in. That was about it.
Mm-hmm.
It was really cool though. I mean, it was a lot of the time. The first time I remember watching that movie, it was just like, wait, does this actually happen? Did I miss something here?
Also, another classic Forrest Gump line: "You got no legs, Lieutenant Dan." And the classic also, Lieutenant Dan ice cream, which has been put into a meme as Lieutenant Dan ass cream.
Oh yeah, Lieutenant Dan memes made a little resurgence there for a little bit.
Yeah, it did.
It was him sitting at a party at the party. He's just covered in streamers, just like, no, I don't want to do this. just look so distraught.
Yeah, no. And then Forrest had a best friend named Bubba who liked to fish for shrimp.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that movie so much.
Yeah, it's so good.
But this would be another perfect casting role as Tom Hanks as Geppetto.
He's been on fire lately. I mean, between Mr. Rogers and everything,
he's a genuine nice guy.
Yeah.
Some actors are they play nice people on screen, but there aren't really nice people in real life. He's a genuine nice guy. He was at the Grey Cup a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And he went up to the Sheepdogs and was like, "So, you guys in a band?"
Yeah, that sounds like a thing Tom Hanks would say.
Yeah.
You guys in a band? Yeah. Yeah.
So,
is that Tom Hanks? Yeah, it's Tom Hanks. Oh,
yeah. I always thought he was Canadian, but he's American.
Yeah, he's American, yeah.
Yeah, for some reason, I always thought he was Canadian. But he's an American. But, yeah. Tom Hanks as Geppetto. Our last bit of news, though.
Pretty much all gaming.
Pretty much all gaming, because there was a certain video that Derek sent me a link to on YouTube, and I'm glad he did, because we both watched this together. Well,
we
didn't watch it together. We watched it in our separate houses, but we still watched it. So on Thursday, PlayStation released its State of Play.
It did its State of Play. Yeah.
Yeah, it did its State of Play.
Yeah.
Live streamed on YouTube.
Yep.
Basically talking about PS4 games and PS5 games.
Yeah, some of them, yeah.
Some of them. I have most of them here. And they kicked off the State of Play with Crash Bandicoot 4.
Yeah.
I forget the title, but I'm just going to call it Crash Bandicoot 4. It's like a ripple in time or something like that.
Something like that, yes. I don't remember what the hell it was.
But Crash Bandicoot is it's a Sony mascot. He was Sony's version of Mario, and he's back. And there was a trilogy of games, and they remade those trilogy of games and called it the Insane Trilogy. And you were a Bandicoot going after a evil Dr. Cortex, Neo Cortex, and he had and he had many villains like Dingodile and Tiny Tiger and Ripperoo. And well, is Ripperoo a villain?
I don't really know.
Or
I mean, he was, but like
freaking Papu Papu and many more. And now in Crash Bandicoot 4, it kicks off right where Crash Bandicoot 3 left off. And in this game, I put a little notes here. I was having a hard time trying to take notes for watching a video.
Yeah.
Because sometimes during the state of play, they would put the title at the end of what they were showing. Or I just wouldn't catch it. And because I'm watching live, I couldn't rewind it. But Crash Bandicoot 4, some of the things you might want to know about the up and coming sequel to 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3. So you can take control of other characters. So you're no longer just Crash. So you can be Coco. You can be Neo Cortex, the bad guy. Yep. You can be a bad guy in a hero story. Yeah. You can be Dingodile, and you can find out what he's been up to. They've introduced new masks. So no longer you could be Aku or Uka Uka. You can be somebody new. They've also created this inverted mode, aka mirror mode. But
yeah, which looks really, really trippy. Really trippy.
It's more than just like inverted stuff. Like there's this one level where it looks like the inverted mode on this one level has no like colors at all. So you're constantly coloring the mode. It's kind of cool. And of course, Crash Bandicoot 4 comes out October 2nd, 2020. So it's going to be for the PS4 and PS5.
Yeah.
So the next game they decided to share with its audience is Hitman IOI. This game is going to be a PlayStation VR game, and it comes out January 2021.
It looks really cool.
It does look really cool. I didn't really put too many notes in it because I'm just like...
It's just a Hitman game, and it's just VR. It's not really much to say about it.
You kill people that use like, hey, you're basically a guy saying, hey, can you go kill that person? Okay.
Yeah, but it's in VR.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, specifically PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our next game, Braid Anniversary Edition.
Yeah.
So you guys remember Braid, right? Who doesn't? I know I don't.
Most people. Most people. I mean.
So it's coming out in 2021, and they gave it a new look. Basically, the Anniversary Edition is the same game you played a long time ago.
Well, not really long ago. It was only like 12 years ago, but yeah.
Sure. The game you played 12 years ago, but with an upgraded look. And while you're playing the game, you have an option to listen to commentary on how they made the game. Braid
is kind of weird, to be honest.
It's like we had a lot of fun making this level.
That's kind of like watching Lord of the Rings with director's commentary on. Like you'll like hear some things that you wouldn't have known that actually happened.
Yeah.
But realistically, it's just kind of fucking ruining the experience.
During this level, the guy in the back had a mental breakdown.
That's what I mean, though. Like, right? It's like having that commentary on, and it's like, well, that kind of ruins the movie. Like, I might learn a few things, but like, realistically,
honestly, some stuff I watch commentary with is hilarious. Like this, like some of my Survivor DVDs have commentary.
Yeah. And something like that's probably really funny, but a video game that came out like 12 years ago that they're doing our anniversary of edition, I was like, hey, polygons here were really messed up, and we really went in there. We just recoded that. It looks great now.
But the Braid game, it's just a classic platformer, indie platformer game.
Yeah.
The next game, The Pathless.
Yeah, this looked very different. I didn't know what it was at first.
I didn't know what it was either, because I was like, okay, who are the bad guys? Who are the good guys? What is going on?
I'm kind of hoping it's gonna be like some sort of multiplayer or something. I don't know if it's going to be, though. It looks more like a single player experience.
Basically, The Pathless is an open world mythic adventure game played in a forest.
Yeah.
You play as a hunter who is a female.
Yeah.
Like I put here in the next note, she is a hunter who can shoot arrows and fly with the help of her friend the eagle.
Yeah.
You can find secrets in the game you're on this island, so you can find secrets on the island, and you also collect items. Basically I also put it's basically a puzzle game. There is no, and I repeat, there's no map in this game.
Yeah, so it's basically kind of like you just get to a high perch and you hit a button and it kind of sends an echolocation out and it like pings stuff that you've been to or certain areas you should probably go to or apparently the big demon enemies that I've seen.
Hey, don't go in that area. That's the dark area.
Yeah.
And I put here the antagonists of the games will be demons
Yeah.
or cursed spirits, as they like to call them, and it will be coming out later this year.
One thing about that game though, like I'm kind of curious about is how because there is no map.
You're gonna get lost very easily.
Well, not even just that. Like, how big is it? Is it an infinite map? Can you just play this game forever?
I think.
Like, does it just randomly generate puzzles and stuff like that? Or?
I think it has a long lifespan.
Yeah,
but I don't think like it's not.
Well,
like
it's an indie game. It's not going to be. There's not going to be a DLC for it. Maybe. Well,
No.
maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. Like, I guess whenever it actually comes out.
Yeah. We'll find out more information.
Yeah.
Speaking of platformer games, Spelunky 2.
Yeah.
As you remember, the first Spelunky was another platformer game.
Yeah.
Spelunky 2, same thing.
Yeah, you're just a little dude going down in the mines and doing some things and getting some stuff, and it's a really, really addictingly fun game.
They've added an online multiplayer,
Yeah.
so you can play with family and friends.
Yeah.
It's basically an exploration game.
Yeah.
Comes out September 15th, 2020.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. On to the next one.
Yeah.
Genshin Impact.
Yeah, this. Oh god.
So I'm just gonna say this. So when I first saw the trailer, the play through the trailer, I was like, "Oh, that's a lot of fan service."
Oh, 100% it is.
And for those of you who don't know what fan service is,
I mean,
like if you watched, like remember those characters that in those animes you watched as kids or as adults. You know those characters that have cleavage? That's fan service.
yeah, and this game is pretty much just all fan service.
Yeah,
the entire
like I
game.
didn't even know the term fan service until I watched the Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge series.
Really?
Yeah, and I didn't
God.
even know that term until I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge series.
Well, I guess I've been watching anime and stuff like that like a lot longer than you have, so
but
I've always
like,
known about that.
but like because like, remember the character My Valentine from the Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, yeah.
Series?
Yeah.
Yeah, they would call her like fan service.
No, she was not fan servicey. She didn't really have cleavage. She didn't really have big tatas. They were more like polygons and triangles.
But that's how you knew a character had big tatas in those days because they would have triangle boobs.
I'm still confused about this game. I don't know if it's an MMO. I don't know if it's just a single player game.
I know I was very confused.
RPG. Like I couldn't tell what it is.
But like, and I also put in my notes, I can already see the cosplayers.
Yeah.
Because it's very like, oh, you grew up watching anime, you would like this game.
Yeah.
Or you watch anime as an adult, you would like this game.
Or you like watching women run around in skimpy outfits? Yeah, this is your game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm probably gonna play it.
And I also said, looks like an alright game.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna play
it. Fall of 2020.
Yeah.
Whatever
it is, I don't know. We'll see.
Next game, Aeon. I didn't have many notes for this. I just said it looks like a player versus player fighting game, and it comes out in 2021.
Yeah, it looked okay. It wasn't anything super special.
Yeah.
Another indie game.
Yeah, another game that's coming out, Bug Snacks. It's a first-person game.
Yeah.
You work for a corporation that helps out the villages.
Yeah.
And you help out people by taking pictures, doing tasks.
Yeah. I honestly like from what the game showed, I couldn't really compare it to something. I was trying to, but like for the longest time I couldn't. But then I thought about it. It's Viva Pinata.
Yeah,
which is kind of what you kind of do that thing, like taking pictures and doing that kind of stuff.
That whole game is the one level in Spiral, in Spiral 2. Because there's this one level in Spiral 2 where that's what you're doing. You're just
you're going around and taking pictures of shit, take pictures of the dragons and stuff like that.
No, not even.
Is that one?
No, there's this level in Spiral 2 Ripto's Rage.
Yeah,
and it's basically a farm. It's basically you're in a farm level.
Yeah,
with these robotic farmers, these robot farmers, and they're telling you, oh, you need to help me get rid of the bees in the robotic bees in my farm.
Yeah.
And this is what you're basically doing in Bug Snacks. Is you're just running around helping people, collecting these bugs who the village eats.
Yeah.
That's why it's called Bug Snacks.
It looks okay.
It looks like an okay game. It's obviously made for kids.
Oh, literally 100%. It's an indie game for kids. That's it.
And the badass game I'm gonna say next is Vader Immortal. It's a PlayStation VR game.
Yeah, it looks.
It's gonna give VR some cash.
Oh, 100%. Like this like Vader Immortal like literally is going to be is the game that is going to get me into VR. I'm going to buy a VR headset when this game comes out.
I know.
And when I have my PS5. Like I'm going to get that. And hopefully you have a bigger TV by then, so I can bring it over. If you don't have VR, then I can bring it over, and we have this whole fucking area for VR, which would be badass. But then you also have to get VR. So
Yeah,
we can have like 2 VRs. I don't know if you can multiplayer with VR in the same area. I have no idea. I think you can. I just don't know. I don't know.
but you play from the perspective as Darth Vader.
Yeah, like we
And like that's badass.
Yeah, like
he's the most badass Sith Lord. Like I don't care.
Yeah, it's gonna be It looks like it's gonna be one of those like just absolutely fucking amazing VR games.
Yeah.
Like I mean VR is only like $400. So if I'm going in and buying a PS5 anyways, I'm just gonna throw my Best Buy credit card and be like, here you go. Just give me the PS5.
Take my money.
Yeah. Give me both.
You're literally Fry from that episode of Futurama where he's just like, shut up and take my money.
100%. Like the games like this are why I'm leaving the Xbox ecosystem.
Oh, I know.
And why I'm going over
like,
to PlayStation.
Microsoft,
like,
come on.
I mean, look, yeah, they have Game Pass on Xbox, but like, the problem is a lot of these things they're putting on Xbox are just not making me want to play Xbox.
The next game that was part of the what was it called again? The State of Play was or AWE. I don't know.
I think it's just AWE. I think yeah.
It looks like another badass game.
Yeah.
Kind of reminded me of a Resident Evil Silent Hill type game. It's definitely a horror.
It is, yeah.
A horror type game. I didn't really take too much notes of this because it didn't really show me lots.
No, it just showed it didn't really show crazy amounts. It looks like it's gonna be a good time though. Obviously we'll know more when it comes out or whenever they release another trailer for it or something like that.
It looks like it's gonna be full of
I think
jump scares.
that one's gonna be that's a PS5 exclusive, I think, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I should have put here in my notes which was which.
Pretty much all of them except for like 4 of them are PS5.
Yeah. So this one looked very interesting to me. Hood, Outlaw, and Legends.
Yeah.
It looked very interesting to me because I enjoy that. I enjoy period games.
Yeah.
Like period piece games. As I enjoy period piece movies and period piece TV shows. And I especially enjoy anything medieval or cowboys and Indians.
Mm-hmm.
So I put it here in my notes. It looks awesome, and it looks like an open world type game like Red Dead or The Witcher.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be it's a mix between like what I mean. When I first saw the trailer start coming on, and he was like walking in with his hood on and stuff. I'm like, oh, Assassin's Creed. Oh, this is an Assassin's Creed.
I thought it was a Lord of the Rings type game because they mentioned the word wraith in the trailer, and it was a guy wearing a hood, and he kind of looked like a ring wraith.
Yeah,
like, and I'm just like, is this like a Lord of the Rings type game where
for me this game like really combat looks
the Nazguls?
Yeah. For the combat looks for me, this game is more of a mix between Assassin's Creed and a game called For Honor. Like that's the way the combat looks to me. But I mean, it looks like it's gonna be a really fun game.
See, you're the video expert. You're the video game expert. Yeah. I'm not. So
I'm not really a video game expert, but it's that's the kind of vibe I was getting from it.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of Assassin's Creed vibes.
Oh yeah.
And definitely the For Honor vibes, just with the combat system, the way it looked.
But like I said, I thought it was a Lord of the Rings type game. Like, oh, you can play as the ring wraiths before they become the Nazgul. Like,
yeah.
And I'm just like, that's kind of badass. But not. It's called Hood, Outlaw, and Legends.
Yep.
And the last game they put out for the State of Play, it's called Godfall. It's a slasher game. They used another word. I didn't understand the word, so I just put slasher game.
It's a looter slasher looter. What the fuck it's called?
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what it's called.
It will have online co-op.
Yep.
And it's a fantasy world with magic and knights, so that's always
Yeah, it's just a looter slasher. You run around, you destroy stuff, you kill enemies, you kill bosses. I don't think it's going to be any type of open world. It's going to be a very linear type game where you're just running through some dungeons with some friends, and that's pretty much it.
There are elemental realms: earth, wind, fire, water.
Yep.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
No microtransactions.
Yeah, that was a big thing that I was seeing on Twitter was blowing up about that. Like,
I put in brackets, no microtransactions yet.
Yeah, I think at some point there's going to be. I mean,
because
it's so hard to have a game like that, especially a free-to-play online game,
because
and not have microtransactions.
They when they re-released Crash Team Racing for the Xbox and PlayStation, they said, "Oh, we're not going to do microtransactions."
Yeah,
and then a couple months later, they were like, "Just kidding." And so, like,
yeah, so this game says right now there won't be any microtransactions, but I'm gonna guarantee there's going to be. And I mean, it looks fun. I remember seeing it at the Game Awards last year.
Yeah,
the little trailer they had for it, and like as soon as I seen it, I was like, "Oh, that armor looks great. Oh, looks like a lot of fun. Oh, this is Destiny but with swords. Oh."
Well, I also put here in my notes, you can play as a Valerian Knight, the master of melee combat. Yeah. And I said it reminds me of Lord of the Rings, Shadows of Mordor.
Yeah.
Or The Witcher.
Yeah. Yeah, much more linear gameplay it looks like, but I mean they haven't only really showed us at the State of Play was the different kind of weapons you can have, and kind of the fight and the combat a little bit.
Like you can have the dual knives or something.
Yeah, dual blades, sword and shield, long sword, short sword. Like, you can have whatever you want.
Yeah, I kind of stopped, stopped taking notes when they kept talking about like the weapons, and it's like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. They showed like a good chunk of the game. I mean, if I'm getting a PS5, I'm definitely going to play this game.
I'm on the fence because I don't know. For me, it seems like an awesome game.
Yeah.
But then, I
very much so enjoy those types of games, though. So that's the thing for me. Like, I enjoy those types of games.
Like, for me, it's just like I always get roped in with the trailer, and then I'll either purchase that game or play that game.
Well, the thing is,
and
that
then
game.
I won't like it.
Did you ever play God of War? Like the old God of War on PS2?
I played a little bit of it.
Where you just run around, hit shit, and kill shit.
Yeah,
that's what this game is.
Yeah,
that's about it. Except for you can upgrade your armor and weapons and make it look cool. About it.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. So, and with all those video games are coming soon to a console near you. If you have PS4, PS5, well, you don't have PS5 yet, but if you have PS4, get some of these games. If you're planning on getting a PS5, get a lot of these games.
Yeah, I mean, and hopefully we'll see maybe some sort of thing with PlayStation Now where it's kind of like Game Pass, but we'll see.
And with that being said, that is it for the news segment of A Brew for Two for episode 42. Yeah. Now, my favorite part of the show is this day on film and television history. In 1991, actor Gary Oldman got arrested for drunk driving.
What? Jesus. Gary Oldman, what the hell are you doing, man?
2006, actor Sylvester Stallone and former heavyweight boxing contender Chuck Wepner settled a lawsuit out of court for an undisclosed sum. Wepner claims he was the inspiration for the Rocky movies. That happened in 2006.
Okay.
2017, the Walt Disney Company announced its plans to create its own streaming services, canceling ties with Netflix. And 2018, the Academy Motion Pictures revealed a new popular films category for the Oscars.
Man.
Dustin Hoffman turns 83 today.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it for On This Day in History. Something I'm going to say that wasn't on there. So I believe it was last week.
Yeah.
There was a cartoon character that celebrated his birthday.
Yeah, I don't remember
who. It was Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, so
he celebrated his 80th birthday sometime last week.
Still looks good.
Still looks good for
still
80.
Hasn't aged.
He's still Wascally Wabbit. Going after a very gender fluid Wascally Wabbit.
Yeah.
Because in every other skit, he would dress up as a woman. If he wasn't doing opera, he would dress up as a woman to flirt with farm folk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not much to report in this day in gaming, but 7 years ago, the original Spelunky came out on PC. So,
also, a certain book character celebrated his 40th birthday. Harry Potter.
What?
Well, not since the book, not 40 years since the books came out, but 40 years since he was born.
Oh yeah, in the books too. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I see what you mean. I was like, it hasn't been 40 years. We're not 40 yet, Brad. What the fuck?
Well, technically, we would have been.
We would be almost 40.
We would be like, okay.
Yeah, we'd be 40.
Yeah,
because we were growing up when the books came out.
Yeah, but like the character itself was 11 when he got his letter from Hogwarts, which was in the early 90s. He was like 11 he was 11 when he got his. So the character of Harry Potter was born in 1980.
Yeah.
And in 1991, he got his letter from Hogwarts. So he was 11. And so he celebrates his 40th birthday.
Yeah.
And with all that being said, the news is done. The On This Day is done. We gave you some important characters' birthdays. With all that being said and done, it is 8:53 p.m. on a Saturday night. And with that being said, we are finished with A Brew for Two, episode 42. And you can follow us on any sort of social media. I'm at agingerfin92.
I'm at King Derek on everything. And you can follow the podcast at A Brew for Two. And you also follow us on Spotify. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram. Everywhere. Except for LinkedIn. We're not on LinkedIn.
Well, we're not on LinkedIn because that's business savvy. We're not in this for the money, but money would be nice.
I mean, it would be, yeah. The $10 I pay a month for the thing is, whatever.
But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I hope you had a good night listening to us, or good morning whenever you listen.
Yeah.
And with that being said, see you later, guys.
Yeah.